Usually in marketing, the only thing you look at is the ROI, right? Return of investment. And it's a very tricky metric to work with because you never know what kind of things will affect the final ROI. And ROI is basically money in versus money out. So what you want to do with your ROI is see how much money you invested in your marketing and see how much money you make back. If you make a lot of money, that means you're doing something right. The best way to face, or the best way to evaluate if your ROI is working, is to have data from previous times. So if you're gonna focus on the Black Friday or Cyber Monday season, this is time you should be looking at the previous years and see if some of the new stuff that you did worked better. If this is the first time you do ROI, just grab your final revenue, subtract the marketing investment, subtract the COGS or the cost of goods, and if your numbers are still positive, that means you're doing something right. Sentiment analysis is something that's been around for a while. People used to check it or measure it in different ways, but social media brought a lot of new tools in order for you to see how is the sentiment towards your brand. Now, sentiment analysis is basically to see if people is talking good or bad about your brand. There are a lot of tools available right now, some of them free, some of them paid, that will basically go around the internet and check if people is liking what you say. So if there are a lot of happy faces, you'll go on the positive side. If there's a lot of mad faces, will be in the bad side. Something that you need to consider though is that people tend to give an opinion when they're mad. So when negative feelings arise, that's when people feel compelled to say something. On the other hand, when they're happy and content, they will not say too much. So consider that before measuring your sentiment around the brand. See if you cannot afford a tool, you can do it yourself. Just go and see how many likes you got on Facebook, how many hearts you got on Twitter, and try to evaluate if the message that you're sending is a positive or a negative one. One of the last things you can do is go back to the basics. Use Google Analytics. After all, it might be an old tool, but it's a very effective tool if you know where to look. So hopefully you've been recording all the data of when are you posting, to whom are you posting, how often you're posting at different times. So you can go back and see how effective these decisions have been. So if you go back to Google Analytics, you will see where is the people coming from towards your website? How long are they staying there? What are the conversion rates? And conversions can be anything you want. They can just fill out a form, they can actually buy a product, or maybe they can just recommend the page to someone else. It's not a hard tool to use. There are a lot of different variables that you can check, but if you take a simple tutorial on YouTube, you can take a lot of very, very useful information that you can use next time. When the season is over, it's very important that you take the steps and evaluate everything you did. Sit down with your team and make sure you identify the areas that you did great and the areas you need to improve for next year. If you're a one-man band, just make sure you write down everything you did or everything you didn't do, so next year you will not make the same mistakes. We really want to hear some of the advice that we gave you. It makes sense. So let us know how the season went, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.